About the decision of the government of Singapore to open up their country despite the COVID-19 pandemic and its variants-driven pandemic, uh, based on the principles of no quarantine for anybody within the country and allowing people to move freely even together on making their decision, individual personal decision to do so or not to do so, making it like a more morality decision for them people in Singapore to decide without government imposing any restrictions whatsoever, and to consider COVID-19 pandemic virus as a normal, like a viral flu and a coldness. But to make sure that the international citizens who come to the country are fully checked at its borders and also sea frontiers and the airports. I think this decision is correct because now COVID-19 pandemic would not end. It will be there for a longer period, and because if even if COVID-19 is there still, the the life, whether someone will die because of the COVID-19 or the SARS-CoV-2 variants, or whether somebody would get sick, or whether somebody would get the virus but not die, or whether someone will not get it at all. That all depends on one's intelligence in the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind, based on the goods and the bads, rights and the wrongs the person has done. So I think that's what Singapore has decided, to open up the economy, letting the people decide what to do and how to behave. But the government's responsibility will be limited only to safeguarding the international citizens' arrival in the country and screening them and quarantining them. So I think this decision is correct because, as I said earlier also, the nature's law of karma, as the Gautama Buddha explained as well, the rights and the wrongs and the goods and the bads decide the person's future. Nobody can harm, even like a worst murderer can't attack someone who have not done anything wrong or bad, according to this nature's law of karma. I think that is very correct, because even if COVID-19 is there, we know people who have done the right things and the good things and who have developed the brain accordingly would take a different route, if they know that, because they will get to know through their feelings, and by observations, through the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind, and also they will feel that to the brain and the mind. For example, I can tell you, several years back, I can remember in 1990s, I think, no, it was 2000, around 2005-6 period. I used to go to a cyber cafe in Valavat, since I didn't have access to internet at home those days. So I used to work there till late night, and every day I used to walk home from that location, somewhere between Valavat and Bambalapitiya, back home to Dematagoda, all alone in the night around 11 o'clock, taking a good walk. One reason was, since I didn't have time to take us and had spent time for additional walk. So every day I used to go to Bambalapitiya Junction and then come to Bauddha Lokamavata, then come to Boralla Cemetery Junction, and then go along the baseline road, then come to Mount Mary, then go through the Veluna place to my parents' home. So one day, all of a sudden, when I left this cyber cafe where the present Bambalapitiya flats are located near that, I just took a different route on that day without going to Bambalapitiya. I took a Lawrence Road, joining this cyber cafe, and went through the duplication road and joined the Bambalapitiya. But on this later, when I went home and next day morning, I heard that around the same time, the usual time I would have been in the Bambalapitiya, there had been a shootout via one of the pro-LTT and anti-raw Indian, anti-Indian Sri Lankan Tamil, writer. to the web, I think, and the newspaper. Prominent analyst had been shot dead. So if I was there, I could have met it, same disaster, because it was almost the same timing. I would be there at that time. But because I never knew any incident pending like that. But it all depends on one's rights and the wrongs, goods and the bads in life, according to the law of karma of the nature. It's a nature's law. So there is nothing, as long as we also put some effort and be alert always, and always have the determination, work hard and put a lot of effort, we would be able to decide the best actions, behaviors, or every day. That's how it's done. I think Sri Lanka must also open up the country, but and also make sure the airports, ports, and the sea circumferences are guarded, and make the people decide how to behave, because accordingly people will have the best behaviors, because we know that in Sri Lanka during the wartime there were risk of bombs going on anytime, any place, but still we used to go by bus those days, to even to school. Nothing happened to us, but some people died. Even narrow escapes were there, but no harms, injuries happened to us at all. So it is because of the, same as the those days LTT random bombs in Colombo. Similarly, today we have COVID-19. So there's no point closing the country or restrictions as such, but everyone must be told how to behave, and let them decide. And the parents must take responsibility towards their children if they love the child. Because children are children and they are very mischievous. So this is a testing time whether parents love their children, to guide them on the way to school back home, or whether they will send them to school or teach them at home, or decide anything based on that. So I think the government, I advise the President Gotabaya to open up the country, open the economy, taking Singapore as a good example.